Hello and welcome to the Restricted Area Podcast, where this week we talk WNBA action as the playoffs are starting to ramp up, and we give you our list of the NBA top five centers as we start to go into next season. As a reminder, you can listen to the audio version only of this podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, or Apple Podcast a day before it hits YouTube. And to get you started, I'm your host, Alex Perez, joined by producer back from North Dakota, Colton Smith, and co-host Ben Miller. How we doing, fellas?
Yeah, doing good. Just living the TQL life right now. Started week 3 this week. It's been up and down, but still learning the basics on how they do things in the office. But yeah, what about you guys?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks for asking. Just living that unemployment life, and it's good. However, starting to look at the bank account and starting to think, hey, perhaps it's time, maybe not to make a lot of money, but to make some money. So we have gotten to that portion of the unemployment life, but still enjoying the relaxation, enjoying spending time with friends and family, and wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was looking at my bank account, pretty sad, but got the 9 to 5, so that's nice, and my sports journalism things to come down the road. So very excited about those. But it has been quite an adjustment being off since May, basically for my body. I've been passing out at like 10 every night, which is way early for me. So it's been an adjustment, but I'm happy I'm finally working.
What happens when the Lakers are back?
Yeah, they're talking about 11 p.m. games. That's not happening. I'll watch the replay. I'll check the highlights. That's not happening. I'm
yeah.
too old for that. All right, but we will go ahead and get started as we take a look at WNBA action. We will first take a look at the standings, where Minnesota is first, Atlanta is second, Las Vegas is third, Phoenix is fourth, New York is fifth, Seattle sixth, Indiana seventh, Golden State eighth, ninth is LA, 10th is Washington, 11th is Connecticut, 12th is Chicago, and 13th is Dallas. So, what storylines have stood out to you all this week? Colton, I'll go to you first.
I'm recycling the same storyline as I brought up at the last episode. The Aces are balling, gentlemen. 10-0
Mhm.
since their 111 to 58 loss to the Lynx. They have knocked off teams like the Seattle Storm, the Liberty, Mercury twice, and the Dream in this process. As a team, they're making 3 more three-pointers per game in the month of August than they did in the month of July. That's 9 more points a game that they are scoring. I mean, not an official average, but that's 9 more points they are getting from the 3-point line. Aja Wilson is averaging 25.5 points per game, 12 boards on 44% shooting this month. Jewel Lloyd, that's the X factor. That's the game changer in this stretch. Hasn't started a game, but has improved in just about every category, up to 12.5 points per game in this month, shooting 16% better from beyond three and 10% better from the field. Jackie Young has taken a step forward, which is really the case for this team as a whole. They got the Sky tonight looking to make it 11 straight, and then they got the Dream coming up after that, which can help them essentially make a push for that second seed. If you would have told me a month ago, especially right after that game, that the Aces would be pushing for the second seed, I would have
Yeah,
called you nutso. Here we are. The Aces are balling.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
going to
for
say
sure.
that I called they would be back in the finals after the Melissa Smith signing. But, anyways, Ben, what do you
Yeah,
got?
yeah. So I'm looking at the when the Minnesota Lynx took on the Atlanta Dream. I mean, arguably the two top teams in the WNBA, with Atlanta winning 75 to 73 over Minnesota. And just to go into some takeaways here, Atlanta starting off with Gray, 27 points, led the team in scoring, kicked off a 12-0 run in the fourth quarter, and Ryan Howard, put up 16 points after coming back from an injury. And Atlanta, yeah, they're balling right now. But when you look at Minnesota, Collier missed her sixth straight game with an ankle injury. I mean, they need to get her back because the team is struggling without her. Well, I wouldn't say struggling though, but just that missing puzzle piece. But Bridget Carlton put up 16, along with Jessica Shepard, who put up 15 points and and 16 rebounds. Both stepped up big time in Collier's absence. And with the playoffs getting close, this is a potential postseason series. And I definitely cannot wait to watch because these two teams are really, really fun to watch. And when you look at the Lynx this year, they're arguably going to go down as the greatest team ever in the WNBA. So, yeah, these guys are, these teams are really fun to watch right now.
Yeah, the playoffs are getting very close, and I am very excited. One team that made my storylines that may not even end up making the playoffs now is the Indiana Fever. The unluckiest team in WNBA history, in my opinion. Already had the fiasco with DeWanna Bonner, who was supposed to be like the biggest free agent signing for them this summer, and she just decided she didn't want to play for them. So that's tough. And now injuries. Caitlin Clark's been out 2 separate times. She has played 13 of 37 games. Her replacement, Ari McDonald, broke her foot, out for the season. And the backup was Sydney Colson, who tore her ACL. That's enough. But then the best shooter, apart from Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, tore her MCL and is out for the rest of the year. So a dire situation in Indy. One of the best teams going into the season. Looks like a team that is just struggling to even make a playoff push and may not even make it there now.
It's definitely disappointing to see the Fever in this tough situation right now. I mean, with the injuries that they're dealing with, like you mentioned, Alex, with Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham going down, a couple other injuries. I mean, just really disappointing because I just had this feeling this time during the season we would be talking about how Clark and the Fever will make a deep run into the playoffs. But it's just definitely disappointing with all the injuries that have been occurring on this Fever squad. It's definitely a bummer for sure.
Oh yeah, I was expecting to have MVP conversations about Caitlin Clark at least be in the mix.
That too,
and it has been anything but, unfortunately. But my other point was kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. The Minnesota Lynx, before beating the Fever 2 games in a row, lifeless Fever team, by the way, they lost 2 in a row for a concerning total of 7 losses. Obviously kidding. They're the best team in WNBA history. They're up almost 6 games for first place in a 45-game season. That's insane. They started 14-2, despite Alana Smith and Caleb McBride being out, 2 of their starters. They pulled off the largest road victory ever versus the Aces. 3-1 versus the Liberty, the team that they are destined to go back to the finals with, it seems like, and I think they're going to beat them this time around. And the only loss they have is one that Nafisa Collier did not play in. All the other wins they have against the Liberty this season have been by almost double digits. And now they're 18-1 at home, which is the most wins at home in a single season. Collier did end up missing her 7th game, but came back against the Indiana Fever last night. Lucky us. She had 32, so there was no rust. That's awesome. The rich get richer for the Minnesota Lynx. They were also 6-3 in the games without her, so they were doing just fine. They have the stars they need. They have the supporting cast they need. This is the best team in WNBA history.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Argue with that.
Yeah.
But if we have nothing else, we will move on to our Fowler Flop, where we bring you our favorite quote of the week and review whether it is foul and they have a point, or it's flop and they're selling baloney. Colton, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I have a tweet from Kenny Beecham, came in the 4th quarter. Now, this tweet in itself isn't a necessarily a question, like it's a fact. In NBA 2K11, there were 19 players with an 85 overall. However, it's just the premise of the retweet here. They talk about it's a tweet from 2K that has that there's over 50 players with an 85 overall rating. And there's some discourse because maybe there's more talent in the league, or is it rating inflation? It's really an interesting question. So I guess the Fowler flop is a little complicated here, but do you think it's Fowler flop that there should be less 85 plus overalls in the NBA 2K games? I guess is the question there. I didn't oversimplify it too much.
Fair. I guess for me that would be foul. Like that's a point. Like I feel like everybody shouldn't be great on each team. So I've somebody who's played 2K religiously almost. So uh, I guess everybody wants to score a lot of points, but you shouldn't be gifted it basically by making everybody good. So yeah, I'd say foul for me on that.
Yeah, for myself, I would say foul. I mean, like Alex said, you don't have to be great on the team. Not everybody has to be great on the team. So, yeah, I would say flop or foul.
I'm going foul as well. To list a couple of these players at 85, DeMar DeRozan, like based on name, that's an 85, I guess. But based on play last year, I'm not fully sold on that. Like I can't really like say it's a terrible take, but I would probably put him at like an 82, 83, personally. Austin Reeves, Alex, what are your thoughts on Austin Reeves 85?
Oh, a guy I have a love-hate relationship with. Um, the 85 is all offense because it's definitely no defense. At least it better not be.
Yeah.
Somebody I once thought was the best third option in the league. I definitely don't think that anymore. But 85 seems fair for him. But DeMar DeRozan, I don't know. At his age, the way he's been playing, I don't think so.
All right, then the last one I will say. Well, actually, I got two. Amen Thompson at 87. Little early.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
way
can see it.
early.
Like I see him being there, but like already.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I think they're trying to make them all overinflated so like they do well in the my team mode because
True.
that's where 2K makes all their money, honestly. But
That's all they care about.
it really shouldn't be that way. It's much too soon.
Yeah. Enough ratings talk though. That's just my little head talk.
Yeah.
That is a good one though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mine comes from Dennis Schroeder, who said about his national admiration. For me, it will never be the same as for Dirk. I will never receive the same love in this country because I am dark skinned. Um, for me, that's a flop. Uh, I understand why you could feel that way, especially with Germany's history per se. But I think it has more to do with the NBA titles, Finals MVP, regular season MVP, 14-time All Stars, Hall of Fame enshrinement, FIBA World Cup MVP, Eurobasket MVP, and Olympic gold medal. I could be wrong, but I think it has more to do with those than the color of his skin. I am one to fight for racial equality for sure, but I think this is a bit of a reach. So it's a flop for me. Would you all agree?
Yeah. I'm gonna go flop on this one. I see his point. However, Dirk's just not the person to make that point on. Right? There's probably better examples of that in NBA history, and yeah, Dirk's just he's just more appreciated across sports than Dennis Schroeder. It's nothing personal.
Yeah. I would go flop. I would go flop on this one for sure.
Absolutely. I'm glad you all agree.
Yep.
But now it's time to give our list of the top 5 NBA centers as the season gets closer and closer. So, as we've done the last couple episodes, we'll go 5 down to 1 and each get a turn as we go down the order. So, we'll start with 5. Colton, who you got?
I want to first give out some honorable mentions. Joel Embiid, you played 19 games last season. You played just about 35 the season before that, somewhere in that range. I'm just leaving him off because I feel like there's no real gauge of where he's at personally for me. If Joel Embiid is the player he was in those 30 or so games, if Joel Embiid is the player he was the year before that, he's obviously number 2 here. I'm just not touching that because I don't know where that's going to go. Additionally, Bam, he's right outside my top 5. I just like these other players better. I think they have a better all-around game, but you can easily convince me in putting them in over 5 or 4 probably. So that leads me to my number 5, which is Karl Anthony Towns, an offensive juggernaut who I feel is honestly overhated as a defender. Underrated is what I mean by that. 24 points per game, 12 rebounds. That's up 4 from his previous season. 52% from the field, if I could speak English. 42% from 3. That's the best of any of the centers on this list. He is, which proves what we already know. He is the best shooter, I believe, on this list. But he's only really, I think he's a solid defender, even a good defender, not a great one, not a next level one. I think that's what holds him back on this list behind his peers.
Ben?
All right. For myself, starting off at number 5, guys, I got Bam Adebayo. I just feel like he's a versatile defender. Has the ability to force turnovers. He's a strong rebounder, strong playmaker from the center position. Makes a great impact on both ends of the court. And just going into his bio a little bit, though, he's a 3-time All-Star and a 5-time All-Defensive Team. So with the way that he plays, though, the future's still bright for Bam. And I just feel like he's, in my opinion, he's top 5 worthy, though. He's one of the best young centers in the game that we have today.
I like it. For me, I have Victor Wembanyama at number 5. Only this low based on past seasons because he's only had 2. So I think that's fair. But he's been extremely impactful. He's led the league in blocks the 2 years he's played. He can become more well-rounded offensively. He's still averaging like 24 points a game, at least last season.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think there's another level he can get to offensively. But he's done a lot in his 2 years, but he just hasn't been in the league long enough to put him in the top 5 centers currently. Do I think he can get to the top 10 of all time? Honestly, yes. So I can't wait to see where his career trajectory goes. But for right now, he's at number 5 for me. Who you got for number 4, Colton?
I have Domantas Sabonis, and I really sat long and hard and thought about putting him at number 2. I'm serious. I think he is one of the most slept-on players of this generation. Offensively, I think he's the only player on par with Nikola Jokic, at least skill set-wise, and just all-around passing ability, rebounding. He had 19 points last season a game, 13.9 rebounds, 7.2 assists. He shot 59% from the field and 40% from 3. Just all around, he is consistently putting up those numbers for the last 3 years. And he has just 1 All-Star appearance. He has 2 third-team All-NBA teams to show for it, and didn't get one last year in favor of Cat. If you ask me, I think Domantas Sabonis is a better player. It's back and forth. In my opinion, I think Sabonis is better. You can argue Cat as well, but I just think he doesn't get talked about as much because his team is not successful. I don't think it's necessarily a knock on him. It's the players around him, but I'm sure he has a place in that too. He's also not as good of a defender. I'd say he's even a worse defender than Cat, and definitely far worse than the 2 above him here. So that's really what put them over the edge. But I think Domantas Sabonis is incredibly underrated and talked about enough in NBA circles.
Yeah, I definitely like that. I feel like Sabonis, he doesn't get a lot of love, and he's definitely Mr. Underrated for sure. But my number 4 this week, guys, just got to scroll up to it real quick. Here we go. I got Anthony Davis. I feel like he's a dominant 2-way player. He's an elite rim protector, elite rebounder. He's an elite scorer who can create his own shot from both post and off the dribble. And just talking about his accomplishments, he's a 2023 NBA champion with the Lakers. He's a 10-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA first team, 3-time All-NBA defensive team. And just being a Kentucky fan, got to shout this one out. NCAA champion with the Cats in 2012. Go Cats. But yeah, I just feel like Anthony Davis, he's one of the most underrated big men in the league, big men that we have in the league today. And yeah, he's definitely a lot of fun to watch for sure. So I got him at number 4.
He is definitely one of the more underrated defenders because he should have way more Defensive Player of the Year awards. But I
Mhm.
digress. Rudy Gobert did not make my list. Spoiler alert. But anyways, for
Thank
number
God.
4, I have Anthony Davis as well. Major part of the 2020 championship. Ben touched on most of the points, but 3-time block leader, Olympic gold medalist, uh, was on a Olympic team straight out of college too. So that's awesome, and it just speaks to the impact he's made
Mhm.
defensively. He was great offensively at the beginning of his career. Obviously, that's diminished a little bit, but he's still a good post presence and somebody the Mavericks apparently believe in a whole lot. So uh, I think he's still definitely in the top 5.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought he would be further up on my list, but after the Lakers bias is out of there, I realize he's number 4, right around there. Now, if we're talking defense, obviously he's
Mhm.
1 or 2, but
Yeah.
number 4 overall for me. Colton, who do you got at number 3?
I got Anthony Davis.
Nice.
In 2024, we got 76 healthy games from AD, much to Alex's joy, which solidified him as a number 2 back then for me, honestly. Well, I guess Embiid was there, so I would have been still number 3, but put him up there with Embiid and Jokic. There was an argument to be had. 2025, we only got 51 games out of him, but 3 electric quarters to start Dallas that honestly could have had him at number 2 for me. But overall, he had 24 points per game, 11.6 rebounds per game, 2.2 blocks, 1.2 steal, an efficient 52% from the field. He had he not gotten injured in game 1, like I said, he'd probably still be number 2. But I have a combination of that and an expected regression from him next season, as well as expected progression from my number 2. Has him at number 3. Honestly, Alex, I thought you were going to have him at number 2. I'm kind of curious what 3 and 2 look like for you, but yeah,
Definitely defensively, number 1 or number 2, but after I'm looking at the offense that has diminished quite a bit over the last few years, I had to put him at number 4.
all right. Well, Ben, who you got at 3?
Number 3. I got at number 3, Victor Wembanyama. I mean, obviously, he's one of the best young centers in the NBA today. I mean, dynamic talent, or a really strong talent, I should say. Excuse me. Has great length. He has the ability to score. He's really dominant on both ends of the floor, and he's he's a really good shot blocker. And he's I would say he's a good 3-point shooter too. I mean, I watched a couple highlights where he can knock down some threes, and yeah, all around, I just feel like he's a really, really great player, and he's only going to get better as his career progresses in the NBA, and he's definitely going to make a big impact on the Spurs in the near future. So I got Victor Wembanyama at number 3.
Yeah, as I've talked about, I'm very excited to see where he goes in his career. But for 3, I have Bam Adebayo, uh, 3-time All Star, 5-time All Defense, 2-time gold medalist, and holds the Miami Heat franchise record for double doubles. A franchise that has had quite a few good centers come through there. So that's a very impressive record for him to hold. 35% from 3 the last 2 seasons, and has only shot under 50% overall once in his 8-year career. If you're talking about an overall all around player, especially in today's day and age of stretch big men, it's Bam Adebayo. So that is why he is number 3 here on my list. Colton, who you
All
got at
right.
number 2?
All right, at my number 2, I have Victor Wembanyama. I still don't quite have his name down. Hopefully, we'll get it this season. I typically try not to glaze Wemby, but it looks like I am today. I just feel like he's too good not to here. Last season, Anthony Davis scored a fraction better in counting stats, and I kind of wrote down these notes assuming that I really thought Alex, you would have him at number 2. So I didn't think about you. You probably have Embiid on your list, but I feel anybody can tell that Wemby is a more dynamic and all around probably better offensive player than Anthony Davis. He averaged 24.3 points per game last year, 11 rebounds, and 3.8 blocks per game. He was the best defender in the league last year, and I think expecting him to grow a little bit in offense next year. I'm putting him up there at number 2. And really, if his team starts winning, if he gets, like you said, it feels like he's got another gear offensively. If he reaches that other gear, I think we need to have some talks about him being the number 1 center in the league.
Absolutely, for sure. And coming in at number 2 for me, guys, I got Joel Embiid. I mean, he has a dominant defensive skill sets, versatile scoring, physical attributes to control the game. Excuse me. Impressive height and length, making him an exceptional shot blocker. When he's healthy, he's one of the best centers in the NBA. I mean, just looking at some of his accomplishments here. He's the 2023 NBA MVP. He has 2 scoring titles, 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-Star, 3-time All-Defensive Team. But I just feel like whenever he's healthy, that's when he makes a big impact with the 76ers. And in my opinion, he's a top 2 center in the NBA today.
Ben, I tell you what, we are right on pace there, buddy. I have Joel Embiid at number 2 as well. I think he gets a lot of unwarranted hate. It's kind of impossible to be able to stop yourself from getting injuries, I would say, especially as big of a guy as he is. And I feel like, because everybody wants to bring up the statistics of how many games he's missed overall, but most of that is from the process era when they were intentionally keeping him out so they could continue to build draft capital and continue to build that team for the future, which they have now. But Embiid, an MVP, 2-time scoring champion, would have been 3 if he played enough games. 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Defense, an Olympic gold medalist. He's never averaged less than 20 points a game and averaged 29 plus in 4 straight seasons. He averaged nearly 2 blocks per game and has averaged a steal per game his whole career. Like we said, when he's healthy, one of the best centers in the league. I think the second best. They wrote a wonderful article about his time, how he's dealt with injuries and stuff throughout his career on ESPN. You all go check that out. But Embiid is a dominant postman and the second best center in the league when he's healthy. And
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be an all-around unanimous decision here. But Colton, who do you have at number 1?
I want to be clear again on Joel Embiid. I really just left him off this list because I have not seen him play basketball in a long time. I know he played a little bit last year. I know he played a little bit the year before, but I just really don't have a feel for where he's at. I don't disagree with what you guys are saying there. If I put him on this list, he would probably be at number 2. Just injuries-wise, it's been so long, I just don't have a feel for it. But to get to my number 1, I have Miles Turner. No, I'm just kidding. I couldn't even finish his name.
Miles Turner.
I couldn't even finish his name. Nikola Jokic. You might have heard of him. I don't have much to say here. 29 points a game, 12 rebounds a game, 10 assists, career high 41% from 3, even though he doubled the amount of 3-point attempts last season. I'm sorry, that's 5 up from last season. I don't know if I said that right. But if the stats aren't enough for you somehow, some way, watch him play. Like, just watch him play. You don't even have to watch a full game. Just watch some highlights. Like, seriously, it's pretty easy to see that he is, Logan might kill me, the best player in the world.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, for sure. Well, coming in at my number 1, guys, guess what? It's not Jokic. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Was waiting for Bo Nix or something.
But I mean, it's definitely no debate. It's Nikola Jokic. I mean, he can do it all. I mean, he can score, he can pass, he can rebound. which can impact the game in so many ways. I mean, just looking at some of his accomplishments here, he's a three-time NBA MVP. He's a NBA champion, Finals MVP, has 5 All NBA first teams, 7-time All Star, and the only player to record 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a single game. One player to lead, only player to lead in scoring, rebounding, and assists in the postseason. So, yeah, there's no debate. I mean, Nikola Jokic is the best big man in the NBA. I mean, like, he can really, really do it all. I mean, he can score. He's a great rebounder, though. He can find his teammates, be able to create for them. So, yeah, Denver, if you're a Denver Nuggets fan, you guys are lucky to have that guy for sure.
Not to mention that team got even better this offseason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
very much so.
Yeah, that's a good point because I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Thunder and Nuggets for the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, that would feed families. That would feed if they're both at full strength. That would feed families. But Alex,
I would be shocked if the Nuggets are not at least in the finals, if not winning a championship. But that speaks to my number one. Of course, it's Nikola Jokic. Far and away number one in my opinion. The greatest statistical anomaly since Wilt, in my opinion. Fastest triple-double ever is one of those statistics. He did it in 14 minutes. Don't know if you all knew that, but that's insane. He's already third all-time in triple-doubles and has shot 50% every year. He averages a steal per game and 80% from the free throw line, which is a spot where you usually can get centers, and they're usually poor. Not him. Every part of his game is very strong, and it gives us all hope because he looks like us, and we think maybe our dreams weren't too crazy. But if anything else, like he has led that team with half of Jamal Murray, and
sorry, I'm trying to get my focus back on my face.
He has led that team with half of Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. He has somehow kept him under wraps that he has the worst PR ever. So shout out to Jokic for keeping that under wraps. He deserves to be number one just for that alone. But any final thoughts from you all?
Yeah, I
have one question to put you all on the spot, and it's okay if you don't have an answer. Where's Jokic getting in the all-time list?
And you can go first if you want to.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely cool for sure. But I feel like when his playing career in the NBA is over, I can see him being maybe top 2, top 3, but top 5 at least, in my opinion. Top 5.
I think top 5 is inevitable. I hate to say first because Shaq, I think, will always be my first because the most dominant player ever, at least from a physical standpoint. But I think, honestly, realistically, as long as he could stay healthy, which the style of game he plays, I don't see how he couldn't. He's at worst number 2 center of all time, in my opinion. Colton, what do you think?
I asked that question. I didn't really have a good answer. I just kind of agree. I agree with you guys. I'd say one could be it really comes down to how long he plays because that's also a question. Will he end up retiring early or does he see this through? Because kind of his play style, I don't necessarily see the fall off being very quick. Like with Shaq, he lost his athleticism. Well, Jokic doesn't have to worry about that. You can't lose what you don't have. I mean, he's more athletic than people give him credit for, but still. So, I mean, if he really works this thing out, I could see him being number one. As of right now, I don't definitely in the top 5, but 3 and 2 is a talk as well. But we'll just have to wait and see when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like he already kind of doesn't have any more to play for. He's won a championship. He's done the most ridiculous statistical thing. So Maybe he
Yeah,
doesn't end up playing that long. Who knows?
Yep.
You know what he loves.
Yeah. Not basketball, that's for sure, but he's still pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But
For
we
sure.
will move on now to our WNBA Pick'em, where we pick our winners of the week for the biggest games in the WNBA. The first one I have for you fellas is Tuesday, 7 p.m. On CBS Sports Network. It's Seattle at Indiana, a fight for the sixth spot right now. So, Colton, who you got?
Hate to go against Indiana in any sport anytime other than football. I don't have much care for the Colts, but I gotta go with this. I almost said the Sonics here. The Storm. I gotta go with Seattle to win this game. Indiana just feels like they're in a free fall right now. They've kind of been treading water with all the injuries, but really it's just considering all the injuries. And yeah, give me Seattle here.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Colton. I'm going with Seattle over Indiana. I mean, just with the injuries that Indiana's dealing with Caitlin Clark, a couple of her backups are down. Sophie Cunningham, a big missing piece to that Fever squad. Very unfortunate for the Fever, but I feel like Seattle, they're going to go in and get the W.
Yeah, it's I can't save the graphic because Indiana looks lifeless right now. Seattle is hitting their peak when they need to. Who definitely doesn't look lifeless? Dominique Malonga and Neka Gumuke. They have both been phenomenal. If Paige Beckers wasn't here, uh, Dominique would be making a case for Rookie of the Year. And Neka just had a game winner the other day. Has been special the whole entire season. So uh, I'm hoping this stays close, but I'm not seeing any way that it really does. Give me Seattle probably by a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
the other one I have is Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. on NBA TV. We have the Aces at the Dream, as we were talking about just a little bit earlier. Ben, who you got in this one?
Man, I mean, Las Vegas and Atlanta. I mean, that's definitely going to be a dogfight to the end. And I mean, two talented teams, but man, this is tough. This is a tough one. I'm not going to lie. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go with Las Vegas. I think they're going to continue that winning streak, and I feel like Asia Wilson, she's going to continue to show up like she has been during this winning streak. And yeah, I feel like Las Vegas, they're going to keep the momentum going because I like where they are as a team right now.
Colton?
This is cruel, Alex. You picked the two teams I've been bringing up the most. I've been supporting the most outside the Fever, of course, this season. And you have me pick against one or the other. There's and it's two different ways. Like a streak only goes so far, right? It has to end at some point. The Dream are a good team. The Dream are fighting to keep that 2 seed. So can they keep it? But the Aces are hot. They are so incredibly hot right now. And they're an experienced team that we know can kind of more experience together than that of the Dream. So I toss and turn. I'm just going to go with what's going hot right now. And I'm going to take the Las Vegas Aces to keep the streak going.
All right.
Yeah, I fear I cannot save this graphic once again. I would
all right.
normally take the home team, which is the Dream in this one, especially in even matchup. But and even looking at the Aces win streak, you got to think they're going to become complacent at some point. But I think if they need fuel, all they have to look at is the beginning of the season, where it definitely was not going as they expected or wanted. But winners of 10 straight, probably 11 straight after Chicago scores 16 points tonight. But give me the Aces in a very, very good game. It's the hottest team in the WNBA, and I don't see any reason why this stops here.
Yeah, for sure.
But we will move on to our shooting star, where it is time to choose who we have for our baller of the week. Colton, you want to go first?
My shooting star this week is the Miami 305. Michael Beasley, Lance Stevenson, Mario Chalmers. You are Big Three champions. Who asked? Nobody, but I love it. And I realistically think if this team got a couple of just random role players throughout the NBA, put them in the NBA, they probably make the playoffs in the East.
All right.
All
I
right.
like it. Yeah. All
Ben,
right.
who you got?
All right. My shooting star of the week, gentlemen. Going back to the Aces, I got Asia Wilson. I mean, she put up 36 points, going 14 for 22 on the floor, and put up 13 rebounds versus Washington. I mean, I know we talked about it, though, but they are playing elite basketball right now. I mean, they're arguably one of the best teams in the WNBA right now. And, yeah, I feel like this is one of the reasons why the Aces have been one of the hottest teams, though, because they have one of their best players that's playing at an elite level right now. So, yeah, I got Asia Wilson. She's definitely been a big part in that winning streak.
I completely agree. That's who I had as well. Just to expand on that a little bit, she has tied the WNBA career record for 35 point games with Diana Taurasi, who played 200 seasons. So it is impressive that Asia Wilson has already done it.
Mm-hmm.
Asia also became the first player ever with a 30-20 game, and passed herself for most 30 and 10 games in a single season. And I know the season is expanded with 45 games. We haven't hit the 40 mark, which it was last season. So there's not that argument either. She's just elite again, and again. But since you all didn't say it, I want to give some love to Paige Beckers, who had 44 points, the most ever by a rookie, on 17 of 21 shooting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Insane.
I had that bookmarked, and then we went a week without the episode, and I lost that bookmark. That's
Yeah,
incredible. That's the real buckets of the week right there.
I was
Ball of
decided
the week.
between her and Asia has won all these games, and unfortunately, Paige Beckers and that team lost on a crazy buzzer beater by Kelsey Plum. So that's why I didn't go with her, but she deserves the shout out for sure.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
definitely. Yep.
Get her some help.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Yep. For
Enrique,
sure.
you got to do better. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you all don't have anything else, that will do it for this episode of the Restricted Area Podcast. Thanks to Colton and Ben for being on. Subscribe to the CX Podcast Network for more sports shows like this one and NASCAR as well. Follow the North Benchwarmers YouTube for exclusive interviews, like an NKU Fall Preview we just did with Matt Sexton. Follow us on all socials at CX Pod Network. Follow me on Twitter at The Wheel Deal. Follow Colton at Colt_45. That's 3 T's. And Ben, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Ben Miller PXP.
And until next week, you all, be smooth.